this is Grace and welcome to my channel and Happy New Year. I hope that you guys have had a great winter break so far or Christmas break. And I am coming to you this first day of January with a new series and a new collaboration. How fun is this? It's been a while since Coley Bing or Nicole have done a collaboration, and I'm just so excited that she had invited me to join her and a few other crafty friends with this series that we're going to be doing for the next 10 months. So basically it's once a month for the next 10 months. And this collaboration is based off of a class slash sketchbook from Allison Davis, and it is called Creating with Sketches. And this is where she has basically broken down how she looks at sketches and how you can create a lot of different looks with the same sketch. Basically, it's the same thing that she does with her sketches, where she shows you the sketch and then her initial one, and then how she would turn that sketch into an inspiration for other types of layout. So for me, I am using the double page sketch number 1. It is a paid sketch, so we will not be showing you the sketch here in the video, but if you are interested, the link is in the description box below. Now, in this really informative and comprehensive, I think it's a class. Well, anyways, I consider it more of a class than just a downloadable sketch. And so in this particular grouping of sketch, she has her initial one and she has all of the other options that you can use. Now, I have decided that I will do the option number 13 because it fit perfectly with the photos that I have. I have 4 vertical 4x6 photos, and I thought that that would be perfect. And then I was going to add 3 more photos on the left side. Now I am starting off with the way the sketch is laid out, and as you probably have seen me before, that as I create, I will eventually deviate from the sketch. And that's one of the reasons why I love sketches, because it's a jump start, but you do not have to commit to the aesthetics or the format of the sketch if it doesn't fit your theme or your photos. For me, I deviate when it doesn't fit my photos. That's mostly the reason why I deviate. And also when, say, my journaling doesn't fit where it's supposed to be, or the title doesn't fit where it's supposed to be. So that is the only reason why I deviate with the sketch. But again, it's always good to have something to jumpstart you, just so you can kind of, you don't have to be paralyzed by analyzing each and everything before you even get started. I'm also working with a new to me paper pack that I got from Michaels, and it's a home theme type of paper, which I thought had some really gorgeous prints that would work well with these photos. Now, these photos are of me and my family when we did our family photos in the fall of 2021. Yes, I know it's 2024 and I'm just now scrapbooking this, but that's just how life is, I feel like I will never get caught up, like that idea of getting caught up with my scrapbooking. I've tossed that out the window a long time ago, because in my mind, I will never get caught up. And if I do get caught up, then it will be really sad, because then I don't have anything else to scrapbook. So I don't have that kind of pressure that I put in myself. So anyways, I've decided that the biggest photo will be the biggest photo on the left side, rather, would be the photo of me and my family. And I am going to mat that, as well as the other 2 photos that I have. I have some, the photos that I chose for the left are the whole family, and then all the boys, and then all the girls. Now, to make the family photo stand out, I will double mat that with the orange checkered paper that I used on the left side. And I really like the papers that I was able to use on this one because it had some really good tones that matched the color scheme that I had for this particular photo shoot. So I always pick a color scheme that would work well, or that would work well with the nature that I'm using. And so for this particular year, I decided that we were all going to do a particular shade of, or a varying shades of purple. So I have like dark purple, and then my daughter has a sweater that has purple, and then my son has a shirt that's purple, and so on and so forth. And so the oranges worked really well. And then I'm also bringing in some blues here because of the blue jeans that we have in the photo that I thought would work really well. Now this is where I was having a hard time, because in the sketch it had there's two photos on the top left, and then two more photos on the bottom right, and then the title and the journaling are in the center. I don't want to say I didn't quite like that, but it didn't work well with the photos that I have and the other accents. So I decided to stagger them instead. I actually really like that better, and I like how the photos are connected in some way. It's kind of like a ladder where it's just staggering. So I like that. And then I'm also adding a couple of tags here, one on the left side and one on the right. I just felt like it would be a good balance. And then of course, just the strips of paper. Now, another thing that I pulled out from this paper pack are these gorgeous flowers, and I just wanted to fussy cut them. I felt like they could be a really good accent to my page. Now, one thing that Allison had mentioned in the Create with Sketches class part of this bundle is that any accents or elements that you see in a sketch can be translated to other things. So in the sketch, she had stars, and so you can translate that with any type of other accents. And I decide to do these flowers. I think these flowers are gorgeous, and I will just fussy cut them. Now, I do know that that takes some time, but this is one of those things where I think it's worth it at the end, especially when you know that the colors of this particular accent matches your papers, because it's coming from the same paper pad or paper line that you have used for your papers. So I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut that, and I won't have you watch me do all of the fussy cutting. But now it is time for me to be gluing all of the elements. As you noticed in the beginning of the video, that I like to kind of just cut them and place them, but without committing just yet to the placement of all the elements, just to make sure that I can move things around, and then when I'm happy with what I'm seeing, and then I'm going to glue them. Now this is going to be the left side, and I think in this part I've already glued the right side. Now one of the things too that I'm adding that was not part of the sketch was that I wanted to have a border on the top and the bottom of my panel, because a lot of the elements, especially the papers and the photos, they're all kind of placed in the center of the double page layout. And although we have that border of my background cardstock, which is light purple, I still felt like it needed something in between the purple and all of the panels of the paper. So I decided to grab some black cardstock and from my scrap, and then add a punched border to it. I always do this. This is my norm. This is my norm. I can't even think of another word for it, but it's something that it's my comfort zone, I guess you should say. And I am using some scrap pieces of paper, and so I am going to kind of doctor them together, but I find that that's something that is like, it doesn't really make like, you can't really see the difference once it's all put together. So that is not such a big deal for me. So now that I've added the border, I can add my other side of my layout, and I'm going to add my borders to that as well. And one of the things that I love about this particular sketch is, as you can see, you don't have to use a lot of paper, especially if it's going to be covered with photos anyways. So that's one of the reasons why I really like Scrapbook Generation sketches, is that they take into consideration the placement of your photos, and so you don't have to put papers behind that. Now you could if you want to, but you wouldn't. There's no need for it. And so now I put together my double page layout again, and I'm going to kind of just set my photos. Now in the beginning you noticed that I had them staggered kind of a ladder, but this time I'm kind of doing them what is it, kind of an S shape, because I wanted to have enough room for my title, and I have decided that the title will be set over there on the right top side of my left hand page. So I had to stop the filming really quick just so I can refill my ATG gun, and then now is the time for me to be adding this. Now I wanted initially to have all of these elements to stay in that really light floral cream paper because they sat really well on top of that, but I will be moving them once I place my title. And to be honest with you, I wish that I would have not stuck this word loved very well on my paper before I had added all of the other stuff, because I'm going to end up moving the rest of them. But c'est la vie, right? It is what it is. But this is, I wanted to do 2 different fonts for my title, and the loved and the blessed are cut from my silhouette, and they're just cut from a sticker backed cardstock. And then I decided to do a sans serif font for the word end. And so I'm pulling out this blessed word, and I'm thinking it will fit right there. But then when I put it in, part of the D is getting lost because of the strip of blue there. Now I had thought that, well, maybe I can just put some vellum underneath that, but I was thinking I'll just move things around, and thankfully the blocks of photos moved easily, that I can move things around. And I wanted to, of course, move the word love, but now I've stuck with it. So the picture of the boys are gonna extend to the blue panel or blue strip on the left side, and I'm okay with that. I did move the A and D letters just a little bit centered with the blessed. And again, if the love would have been able to be moved, I would have moved that so that it'll be centered as well. But it is what it is. And then now it's time for the decorating. Another thing that you notice is if you have the sketch in the option number 13, all of the strips of journaling are on the left side. And as you notice, there's no more room on the left side. So I am going to deviate a little bit from the sketch and then put my journaling on the right side, actually where all of that plaid or orange plaid will be. That's where I'm going to put my strips. I did pre-print my journaling and then cut them into strips, but instead of it being strips on the left side, it's going to be on the right side. I really like these tags because they add some really interesting design to my layout, and it's just paper. One of the things that I really enjoyed with making this layout is the fact that most of the items that I had used are just paper, except of course for a little bit of embellishments here and there, like this twine, and I'm going to add a few more added elements that would add texture to the layout. But for the most part, these are all papers, which makes me really happy because at the end of the day, I'm a paper girl. I really like adding as much paper as I can on my layouts. And I'm trying to make a perfect bow here that would center, but it's not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of a mini dot right there where I have it tied to make that go the way I want it. And I'm going to do the same thing with this little house. I forgot what it says, but it's a cute little accent to remind me of home and family. And again, I'm working with I'm keeping it with the same colors, keeping it with the same color scheme, and adding a purple twine to match all of the purple accents on the photos as well as on the layout. And I did add some foam adhesive to the back of the tags to make them stand out a little bit. I'm going to make them pop up so that when I add my flowers, I can tuck them underneath the tags, which would cover some of the parts of the flower that's not quite perfect. And then I decided to ink up the edges of my tags just to make them stand out even more. And then I'm going to add them to my layout. I hope that you guys are liking this video. Please make sure that you check out the description box below. It has a lot of links. It has a link to the Creating with Sketches book, and then it also has a link to all of the creators that are part of this collaboration. So make sure that you check that out and let me know how you are liking or how you liked this particular page, and you can leave some questions or comments in the comment section below. And if you are so inclined, and if you're new here, please also consider subscribing and hitting the like button and also the subscribe button so that YouTube will notify you of the next video that I post. And I do have another series that I have in mind that I will be doing this year, so make sure that you check that out. It will start this month. And I also have other series that I've done in the past, and make sure you check that out. Most of them are on a playlist in my YouTube channel. Okay, so now this is where I am cutting up all of my journaling, and like I said, I pre-printed that off of Word. And this is what I do when I know that I have a few layouts on deck to create. I fill up just a white 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and I print all of my journaling right off the bat so that I don't have to continue going back to my Word document to make each and every journaling block that I want. So I'm not gonna show you the whole part of me adding the strips of that, but later on, I'm not sure if I do this on the video, but I do decide that I wanted a little bit of texture on here. And so as my last finishing touch, I am going to add some Nouveau drops, and I just so happen to have a purple one that fit perfectly with the colors, and I'm just trying it out just to see. And I am going to add some dots of Nouveau drops on the centers of the flowers. This is just to create a little bit more texture and interest to the layout. And then I decided to give it a shot and make a heart on top of the house, which I thought was really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that off. And then here are some close-ups. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye now.